Brain games are quite stimulating in nature. They stimulate the brain by reinforcing mental activities which we ordinarily would not participate in. Drilling of the mind is not limited to product. Puzzles are meant for all, young and old, both the undecisive and the disciplined. For adults, brain games are built to minister to and accommodate their developed needs. Now, the need for adults to keep the mind sharpened and to improve in cognitive thinking and methodical competence is just as strong as in young ones. Welcome to episode 102 of the Teacher Rockstar podcast, a place where tips and strategies critical to the new teacher are discussed. I'm your host, Steve Hiles. In today's episode, I want to talk about prompting the mind with brain games. But before we do, here's a word from our sponsor. Hey friend, interested in jumpstarting your classroom management skills? Well, if you're a brand new teacher fresh out of college, or a teacher with 0 to 5 years of teaching experience, a student teacher, or perhaps you are a teacher returning back to the classroom after an extended absence, well, the Teacher Rockstar Academy course is for you. Gain the confidence, the skills you'll need to crush it on day one and beyond. So invest in yourself and enroll now at tra.teacherclassroomresources.com. I promise you that this will be a most transformational experience. Okay, let's continue on here. When you get a moment, you might want to check out 2 of my earlier podcasts on the value of brain games. Reaching the Limits in Brain Games, which is episode number 85, and The Importance of Brain Games, episode number 24. Okay, as physical exercises are structured to be able to cater to different needs of different people, also mental activities for the brain can be structured to cater for people of different learning zones. Brain games play a very important role in helping to promote creative thinking by using diligent strategies to inspire inquisitive inclinations in solving problems. In short, brain games ensure you never run out of ideas at any point in time. Now, this is done by using simulators to prompt the brain to react in low-pressure situations as they would in a high-pressure situation. The human mind is a great example of natural intelligence. The more it is engaged, the more it gets better. It is necessary for the younger minds as well as adults to keep up the learning process, because as the mind grows older, it starts to act of its own volition. It needs considerable and constant engagement to keep it in shape. Now, how to choose the best brain games for you? Deciding which brain game meets your needs can be really quite tricky. Mostly brain games are built based on age groups. Nevertheless, one age group can still find the other enjoyable. But to achieve your optimal performance, and that's what I'm talking about here, every age group needs to make sure that the activity caters to the age or level of the user. Doesn't that make sense? This is very important here. By doing so, enough room would be provided for the user to develop his activities. Brain games are designed to either entertain or educate the user. Let's start with brain games for children. Now, today's games for children are a lot more than just fun and games, okay? They are actually referred to as educational toys. It is fantastic in the sense that these kids can engage in fun-filled activities while also gaining invaluable knowledge. In addition, these games are also used to teach kids ideals such as tenacity, patience, hard labor, and the concepts of winning, losing, fair play, and the spirit of sportsmanship, amongst others. The good thing about these thought-provoking activities is that kids have the chance to learn about these things in a way that the message does not get lost on them. Now, I want to talk about how to improve memory with brain games. Okay, sometimes many of us are surprised by the ability of others to remember many things. We find that ability almost magical at times. We think of our own inability and end up feeling a bit bad about it. But that reality should not be the case. Improving memory skills is in fact quite easy. All it takes is an investment. Do not worry, this does not stress on your financial investments at all. This investment includes a little of your time. some practice, and above all, it requires patience. The easiest brain game exercises for memory improvement is called pre-sleep contemplation. This exercise requires your presence of mind and support of your memory. When you are lying in bed, that is before you fall asleep, slowly start recalling the activities you carried out in the course of that day, how you began the day and ended. It could also be an area you could explore. Try and ponder over the people you met and the activities you partook in during that day. Try and figure out where and why you met these people. What did you discuss? Why did you discuss these things? Were there any resolutions made? Another thing we have to keep in mind is alertness. Being alert helps one to be actively and consciously involved in the landscape and social environment that we are present in. How can one be alert? Well, it requires a good measure of observation. Observe the surrounding that you are involved in. If you are interacting with a person, look around and relate to the objects that are present when you are in communication with that person. This would help you to associate with the objects around. Recalling objects would lead you to try and recall the conversation and the people that you have been in communications with. Another problem humans have with short memory tend to face is recalling people's names. I know that's happened to me quite a bit, actually. When we hear a name for the first time, it is unfamiliar to our minds. The name sounds unique to us and rings in our heads. Unfamiliar names get registered in some form or word in our minds. One of the easiest ways to remember new names is to try and associate it to a thing familiar to us which rhymes to the name. Let us take an example of a person by the name of Michael. This name rhymes with cycle. To recall the person, we could try and associate our thoughts with familiar objects of day-to-day life. These small brain games of recalling what we have done throughout the day, the people we met during the day, and their names is a very effective way to strengthen memory power. Although these steps require practice, the results, if taken seriously, works just fine. They get imprinted in our memories through a process of continuous practice. Following this on a regular schedule will help solve memory loss and forgetfulness. Being alert will help you to think and work in a logical manner. Also, remember to be confident about yourself. This will help your approach to problems in a more simplistic manner. Practice these small steps for complex free living. Appreciate and celebrate the joy of living life. To improve your memory, you have many options, yet brain games give you faster results in some instances. To help you gain from brain games and learn how to use the puzzles to improve your memory, we can consider word by association puzzles, but more on that after a word from our sponsor. Imagine having access to educational products, instructional videos, top-rated teacher podcasts, and articles worth over $1,000 for just pennies a day. Wouldn't that be awesome? And you know what the best part is? You get a free 7-day trial. So really, what do you have to lose? Go check it out. Take a look around. Go to membership.teacherclassroomresources.com. I will be adding more products each and every month, and you're going to love being part of this teacher membership community. Okay, let's talk about word-solving types of activities. Now, I'm going to read a series of words out here to you. Association, unravel, resolve, crack, answer, explain, get to the bottom of, work out, disentangle, determine, resolution, settle, decide, tenacity, fright, alarm, worry, dread, calm, self-control. Now, I want you to notice that each word in the series that I just read, okay, then think of new ways of associating each of those words with what it relates to in terms of solving problems. Practice these steps each day to improve your memory and build your vocabulary. Practice will improve your memory in more ways than you could even possibly imagine. Crossword puzzles are fun experiences that prompt the mind to think too. More benefits of brain games for children. Okay, games let children use their creativity while nurturing their imagination, physical, cognitive, emotional strength, and proficiency in skills. It is because of the games that children at a very young age interact and engage in the world around them. Games offer children to create and explore a world that they can master, conquering their fears while practicing adult roles. sometimes in conjunction with other children or adult caregivers. As they master their world, games help them to develop new abilities that lead to increasing the confidence and the resiliency which are required to face challenges of their time. Drifting games allow children to know how to work, to negotiate, to share, to learn self-advocacy, skills, and to resolve disputes. Preferably, most of the games were supervised by adults, but the downside of this is that children typically acquiesce to adult rules and concerns and could lose some of the benefits play offers, such as developing creativity, leadership, and group skills. Now let's talk about brain games for future planning. Look at the world today, okay? We are on the verge of entering an era where artificial intelligence will be the king. In this new era, the human brain is largely expected to take a rest while computers and machines run our world. Engaging in brain games consistently will be key to keeping the brain healthy while the machines work. The earlier we begin, and I can't stress that enough, the better it will be for all of us. Brain games will help us prepare for that time. As early as 2000, technological inventions had matured to the point where series of robotic intervention had been used in several fields to make work easier, faster, and less risky for humans. As a matter of fact, from the first day computers took off the ground, technology has worked to ensure that we get to that point. In the new world, machines will replace workers. Robots would act as servants to man, and we will be responsible for controlling them and their activities. Brain games will help us prepare for all these eventualities. Popular brain games for adults include the latest Gray Labyrinth. Their puzzles are beautifully illustrated, offering you a smooth collection of paradoxes, riddles, and so on. You have trivia questions and other exciting, entertaining, and educational features. You can choose to play the puzzles on your computer or print them out and play offline if you want. Now, another popular brain game is Puzzleability. This game bends the mind into thinking through problems. Memory Page employs a series of strategies to make you remember verses, lists, or passages at length. Tutorials are included, and you can build up your brain's memory and retention capabilities. The Super Memo World of Puzzles takes you through learning phases to improve your memory. The Big Doctor Memory Game is an online course you can take to help improve your memory. Zine is also another game that focuses on helping the user improve memory. Some pseudo-numerology puzzles combine stories effectively with words to enforce memory. These types of puzzles show you how to convert words into actual numerical formulas. Well, we have come to the end of today's episode. Thanks for listening to the Teacher Rockstar podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hiles. When you get a moment, visit my new and improved blog and subscribe to my newsletter for the latest educational research, best practices, and unadvertised free bonuses. Simply go to blog.teacherclassroomresources.com. And don't forget to subscribe to us at the Teacher Rockstar Podcast. And if you'd like to support us, by all means, feel free to share our podcast with others, post about it on social media, leave a rating and review. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks again, and we'll see you same time, same place next week. And remember, my friend, you got this.